our sunshade broke. If you want to see how I fixed it, then this is the video for you. Okay, so what we got here is the bracket the screws broke off that were holding the bracket, and you can see here there's a styrofoam behind here in between the stucco and the stud. So we're gonna cut behind here and put this wood block in there so that we're attached. The wood block is attached to the stud, and then the stud and the screws are attached to the bracket, so we'll be nice and secure this way. All right, to cut this, we're gonna go ahead and go with a Chicago Electric multi-tool. We'll go ahead and see if we can get this stucco cut up here. So it looked like that multi-tool worked good to score it, and then I can just hit it with a chisel and break it off, rather than trying to cut all the way through with the multi-tool. Especially in the corner, because that multi-tool had a rounded blade. I had safety glasses on, that one flew back at me. Okay, let's see how we did. Moment of truth. Okay, looks like it fits. Now it's just a matter of cutting this metal here and cleaning out that styrofoam. Here's a close-up here. We got the stucco on here. So it was going through the stucco, and then it was going through this foam insulation and into the stud, and then all the screws broke off at about that length. So if we put a wood block in here, that should shore it up and give it something better to connect to. All right, we'll just cut those. And the stucco wire is pretty thin. It cuts pretty easy with these pliers. All right, there it is. Now it's a matter of getting that out of there. Uh-oh, broke that razor. Chisel here to clean this out. Okay, so there it is. Just a matter of removing this felt here, so we got something to glue to. We can glue that wood to this 2x4 there. All right, looks like those screws are still in there. They broke off in there. Okay, so that looks good. We'll just trim this down a hair so it sits flush. All right, now we'll go into the shop and cut this up and put some paint on it and get our awning back up. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to cut this down to here so it'll sit flush, and then so that we'll have a nice raw surface to glue to. Glue doesn't seem to stick as good to paint, so we want to stick it to some raw wood and then, you know, bond this really good into that 2x4 that's out there. So we'll go ahead and get this set up to cut up. Adjust our table saw here for a shorter cut. We're not going to cut all this at once, that's a lot to cut. So we're going to pick our halfway point. Probably go up to right about there. It's probably about as high as we want to go. We'll tighten this in here. So it looks like it needs to go over a little more than that. This is probably more like a 1/4 inch. So let's see, we'll go over one more. That looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and go right there for our cut. I decided to change the way I'm going to do my screw pattern, because if I put this on here like this is the way it's going to be in here like this. These are kind of close to the edge and they might split the board. So if I move it over here at an angle, and it's not going to matter when I attach the hardware to this because it can be adjusted to different angles. So I think we'll do that, and that gives us the best chance of having a nice solid connection from here, because this bracket's only going to be as good as this 2x4. If this ends up splitting, then it's not really going to work either. So we got it marked, and we'll go ahead and put some pilot holes in there and paint it up. There. Go ahead and paint this board up now, and then once we attach that bracket to it, we can do a little more touch-up paint around the edges, but we don't have to worry about repainting that area. We're just going to paint the top of this. The sides, we'll put liquid nails in there to seal them. Fill in those extra holes. I don't think we're going to use those, so might as well fill those full of paint. We don't want it so thick that we can't see our pilot holes there. It'll be in the sun, so we'll be able to see it pretty good. So it looks like there is one rip in here that I see over there, so we will have to order a new one. But we'll go ahead and get this up, and we'll use it for a while until that rip gets worse. But we'll go ahead and get a new one ordered and ready to replace this. But this is the one that broke right here. Broke off of there. That's how thick that insulation is. So the screws had to go through all this before they hit wood. So they didn't really have that good of a connection. Alright, for our glue, we're going to go with Tight Bond Premium Wood Glue, water resistant interior exterior glue, and then we're going to go with some liquid nails there. We got it all ready to go. Didn't have anything handy, so I just grabbed this pencil. I just didn't want to get glue all over my finger while I'm up there touching everything, and then end up having to make a big mess. The other thing I want to do is smear liquid nails all over the raw sides of this wood. See what I smeared that on there? All right, moment of truth. Go ahead and stick it in. All right, I stuck it in. Now we're gonna use this liquid nails to hold it in place. And then we'll use those. We got the wood glue on the back, and then we'll use the screws. So we're holding this in 3 different ways here. Liquid nails, wood glue, and screws. All right, so I went and got some finger cots so that I can smooth out this liquid nails here without getting it all over my fingers. Once this dries, we'll come out with that touch-up paint that I was talking about. All right, now we'll get out the drill, start screwing it up. I don't want to screw it up, I'm trying to fix up the screw up. All right, like I thought, with the sun out here, I can see those pilot holes pretty good. That screwed in there real good before that glue and liquid nails dries. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that's gonna be much better. Yeah, you see now we're attached to solid wood, so we're not gonna have that same issue with it rocking back and forth on the stucco. All right, now we'll see if we can get that awning hooked back up. All right, I got the strap on here. We'll see if it reaches. Seems like it's slipping. The gears are slipping because this is getting too fat. That same problem I said. All right, let's see if it reaches. Luckily, this can be unscrewed quite a bit. Yeah, if you struggle with these straps like I do, you might just need to get 2 of them or maybe even 3 of them and put them at different increments, because I always struggle with getting these to not bunch up like this. All right, so we'll start by turning this one and get this one in about halfway. So right about where my finger is. And we start cranking on this other one here. Whew, okay, now we can start cranking this thing. Probably be easier with a pair of pliers. Well, there we go. Now we can just keep twisting away. Okay, now it's just a matter of checking out the awning and seeing how tight it is. All right, so it's seen better days. Looks like it got ripped up while it was down on the ground. Got a hole there, hole over here. We got some wrinkles in it, so need to work on it, tighten it up. That one's about as tight as it can go up there. Okay, now we're up in the trees. We'll get that to focus there. And this one has got a little more room in it. There, so go this way with this one. Going counterclockwise to tighten this up. All right, and then we'll go clockwise. All right, we'll go take a see where we're at. Right there. Go take a look at the awning and see how we did. All right, so that looks pretty good. There still is a little bit of a wrinkle in here, which I think would be tightening up this one and tightening up that one to pull out that wrinkle. So that's what we'll do next. All right, this one looks like it might break if we tighten it. These screws aren't doing too well either over here. All right, so let's see, we're gonna go counterclockwise here. This one, we want to go clockwise. That's about all we got here. Don't know if that did any good. Oh yeah, that's what we needed to do. That took out that wrinkle. Still a slight wrinkle there. So that would be a matter of tightening it up over there. How much room did we have on this side? I think we got a little bit there. All right, a couple more turns on that one over there, and it looks pretty good. I think this is about as good as we're gonna get. We got a couple rips in here. We got another awning ordered, so I think we're just gonna keep this up here until the rip gets worse. And then when we get the new awning, and I have to take it down, I will just go ahead and make another block for this one right up here. This was just a quick fix for today, but that needs to be fixed there. And then this is gonna have to be redone. It's holding in there, but you know, I mean, another storm or two, and these screws might break also. So we'll go ahead and get a new one. And then when we replace all this, we'll fix these other areas up. That might do good here too. If we need to make this a little tighter, we can move this over. Move this over a little further, and then that'll pick up some of that slack there. Get some of those wrinkles out. All right, so that's it for my Chicago Electric multi-tool. I need to get some different heads for this and see how if I can get like a diamond head on there or something that'll cut through the stucco. But in the meantime, with just that wood head on there, it scored it great. I mean, you can see I had to use a hammer and a chisel to clean it up. But all in all, it's a pretty clean fix. All right, thanks for watching.